I apologize for the wind in advance. What is going on, guys? It's Joe Metlow with Next Level Auto Detail. Today we are working on this BMW X5. It's in pretty neglected shape. It definitely has seen better days. However, we are going to be taking this to a higher level. The wheels are pretty bad. The paint is pretty tired. It has slight oxidation. We have a numerous amount of scuff marks, which the sun is playing hide and seek right now, obviously. You could just see a whole bunch of marks that are on the hood, and the roof is pretty grimy, as you can see. Yeah, very, very grimy up there. You could see the thick layer of film. It's just pretty dirty. So we do plan on using the Turtle Wax ceramic polish. This is going in for a paint enhancement. So we are going to enhance the paint. It's not paint correction, paint enhancement. We just want to enhance what we have, get it clean, get it decontaminated, and start our polishing process. We are going to be using the ceramic polish for the first time on base clear. So this is exactly the application that I would use the Turtle Wax ceramic polish for, a paint enhancement. If I ever want to perform true paint correction, I'm going to be using a mid-grade polish, a polish, or a compound. I'm not going to be using an all-in-one type of product to perform paint correction. An all-in-one application is meant to be fast. It's not meant for leveling all defects and swirl marks. It's not meant for that. It's designed for paint enhancement, and that is exactly what we're going to be using it on. Once we're all done getting it washed and prepped, I'll bring you guys back and we'll start our polishing process. So I'll see you shortly. Alright guys, I'm finishing up washing it. I just wanted to show that this is a pretty good test subject to use the Turtle Wax ceramic polish, because there is no protection on this thing whatsoever. Okay, finally we're all done with the washing, the decontamination. The wheels and tires took almost an hour to clean because they were so bad. We are using the ceramic polish and wax on base clear for the first time. Obviously, we're going to be doing fast arm movements. I'm not going to be moving the polisher an inch a second, because that's not real world. Guys, if I'm moving a polisher an inch a second, I might as well just use a mid-grade polish and do a one-step polish. So you could go on other channels and get fed lies. I'm giving you real world detailing. So I'm not getting compensated a ton of money for this. I promote real world detailing. I always talk about real world, and I want to be real with you guys. So how much am I charging for this? We are charging $430 for a paint enhancement and a light vacuum on the inside. Now, how did I come up with that pricing? It's very, very simple. $430. Now, let's break it down. What would I have charged just to wash this car and leave? Just to do the outside, which the wheels were, which were really, really bad. Okay, and giving it a clay bar and getting all the mold off the roof. Basically, let's call the wash $130, because this car was bad and it did take me about 2 hours to do. So that leaves $300. Okay, so what I would charge to do a paint enhancement on this car, to buzz around it and just give it an enhancement, I would charge $250. $250, and that leaves an additional $50 to take care of the inside. So that's how I break down my pricing. So the wash was $120, the paint enhancement was $250, and the inside wipe down is $50. I'm not getting just paid $400 just to polish the car. You can't think like that, because you have to wash it, you have to prep it, and that takes time. That's not the only thing. You're not just coming to the car and starting to polish it, if that makes sense. You got to get to that polishing step. So I'm not charging $430 just to polish this paint. I'm basically charging $250 to give it a paint enhancement, which is not a lot of money. We're not getting compensated for a lot of time here. Now, if I wanted to do a one-step paint correction on this, we would be in the $700 to $800 range plus. That's not what the client wants. He might be selling it, he might be giving it to his daughter. So I said, hey, let's just do the paint enhancement. The car will look good, and we could go from there. I know it'll look good. He said, okay, Joe, I trust you. Let's go with that. The car's gonna look good, and the owner probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a one-step paint correction or a paint enhancement. So I probably could have sold them on the one step. However, I'm doing it outside. I would like to be in the shop, and when I'm doing mobile jobs, I only like doing paint enhancements when I'm doing mobile jobs. So obviously, charging $250, which is not a lot of money for me. I know a lot of you guys are starting, and when I first started, charging and doing it at a professional level, I was doing full paint corrections for $300. Now I won't roll out of bed for that. I would rather pay $300 not to do a paint correction, if that makes sense. So, and I'm very blessed to say that, and I hope that you guys are starting off. I hope that you guys put in the work, put in the time, and God will bless you soon enough, and you will be able to start charging more. I'm an example of that. I worked very hard to get where I'm at, and I'm not satisfied where I'm at, and I hope to keep climbing that ladder of success. I'm not going to be moving the polisher an inch a second because it's a waste of time. If that's the case, it's not even about compensation. I would rather just use a mid-grade polish and do a real one-step paint correction. When I'm using an all-in-one, I am not going to move the polisher an inch a second. Absolutely not. Because that means we're not getting compensated for a lot of time, or the customer doesn't value that package, which is okay with me. So let's get started. I'm working this whole area. And that's basically it. Now, understand that we're not going to be leaving holograms. We're not going to be leaving marring. We are removing defects. We're removing about 20 to 30% of the defects on the paint, which is a win. And we know what we're doing. We're not going to be damaging trim. We're not going to be leaving holograms. Understand that if the client took this to a car wash and got a hack above job, he's probably still going to spend $200. And they're just gonna destroy the paint. So we clayed it, we washed it, we gave it a decon, and we're good to go. Now, I will never use this product or any all-in-one product to perform paint correction. All-in-one was not designed for that. All-in-one was designed to do what I just displayed. A lot of guys, they watch Larry, and Larry's such a great guy. He's done nothing but great things for our industry. But look at all the cars that Larry was working on when he was talking. One-of-a-kind Ferraris, cars that were worth $3 million, $4 million. You guys are bringing that $4 million mentality detail where you're saying, don't do this, least aggressive, slow arm speed. You guys are applying that same technique to a 2012 Honda Civic daily driver. Now, let's say if Larry was here, because he's the most famous YouTube detailer. He's the face of YouTube detailers, and rightfully so, he deserves it. If he was here and the client said, Larry, what could you do for $400? Do you think he's gonna perform all those techniques that he was performing on that $4 million Ferrari on a daily driver car? No. See, everybody watches those videos and thinks that they have to apply that to daily drivers. And that's just not the case. That's not real world. And everything Larry says is true, but when you're doing it at a professional level, you can't carry those same techniques because you're not going to be profitable, especially when you're first starting. You're not going to be able to charge $1,000 because you just don't have the experience. So again, guys, that's just real world. I'm going to feed you real world stuff, and that's what this channel is all about. This is the only way I would use this product. If I have a client that's going to be paying $700 or more, I'm not going to be using this. And if I have a client that only wants to compensate a couple $100, that's what I'm going to use this for. I'm never going to be using this for paint correction. Absolutely not. All-in-one is not paint correction. It's paint enhancement. And if you guys do this, inch a second, or inch a second and stay for, you're wasting your time. Grab a compound and just get it done. If you do one full buffing cycle with slow arm speed with an all-in-one, you are essentially handicapping your ability to remove defects. You will actually be able to get better results by doing a few passes with a compound and then following behind it with an all-in-one. This will actually save you time and actually give you more defect removal, meaning better results. At least you will be removing defects all while being time efficient. So to summarize what I'm saying, a one-step paint correction usually takes between 6 to 8 hours of just machine polishing. And we all know most all-in-ones do not leave the strongest protection behind. So you just spend 8 hours using a fine abrasive to try to level the most defects you can while leaving lackluster protection behind. My analogy for this is you are essentially trying to dig a hole with a spoon. It is possible, but a shovel is going to be much faster. A shovel in this case would be the compound, while the spoon is the all-in-one. Shine and gloss. You guys can't treat everybody like they're certified detailers and sell them on packages that they don't value. What 99.9% of the people on this planet want is smooth, glossy, protected paint and clean glass. Okay, finally the sun is out. It's been playing cat and mouse all day. I just wanted to show you guys that even with this hack process, look at the results we're getting. Guys, yeah, deeper scratches remain, but guess what's the eyesore? Is the wash swirls, the automatic wash swirls. Deep scratches are one thing, but guess what? If you remove those wash swirls, that's all a car really needs, especially a daily driver. So with that simple process, look, we are indeed enhancing the paint. Now, is it really worth it to invest all that time, all that money, and all that effort into this daily driver BMW that was in really, really neglected shape? This is all this car needs. Look at that. Beautiful. That is a win. Wash swirling bad. Good, good. Said we was gonna do a water behavior test. Remember, there was no protection on it. And it leaves some pretty nice beading behind. I don't want to put hose water on her. Obviously this is distilled water, so we are not going to be doing the hose test because I don't know what kind of water my client has here. So pretty nice beading, impressive, not bad. So there was no protection on this, obviously, and look at that. With one swipe of the towel, she's dry. The paint feels very slick under the towel. Excuse me if the camera's shaky. I'm kind of trying to hurry up. I want to get out of here. All right, guys, as most of you know, when the hair's messed up, it's time to go home. We're all wrapped up with the BMW. Came out nice. I'm happy with it. My client is happy, which means I'm happy. Now, there were so many scratches, gouges, nicks on this car. Obviously it was neglected. You guys seen the wheels, you guys seen the roof. Now let's say if my client did want to invest $1,000, $2,000 to restore and preserve this car with a multi-stage paint correction and a coating, I would not advise my client to do that because there's so many deep scratches and gouges that it's just not worth it. Remember, some cars are candidates for that level of service, and this car is not a candidate for it because it's not wise to invest all that time, money, effort, and product on something that it has been neglected and it has so many scratches and gouges. So the application that we gave this car was actually perfect for it because the more I polished it, now she looks good. Kind of the deep scratches that are kind of at the primer of the car, you know, all those are obviously more of an eyesore now. They pop out because the rest of the paint looks so good. You can't treat a Honda Civic like an Enzo Ferrari. You can't treat a daily driver like a show car. You have to pick a package and match it to not only the car, but to your client. So always be honest with your clients, and you will always make more money that way. Now, you guys might be saying, Joe, you're a hack. You're taking advantage of your customers. You're lying to your clients. Absolutely not. I'm very, very transparent. My client wanted to do it one step on this, and in all reality, it just wasn't really worth it, in my opinion. I think the car looks great, and really and truly, what we might have got out, maybe a few more deeper ones, it just wasn't worth it. You know, if he does sell it, if he does give it to his daughter, do you think that his daughter is going to wash this with a 2-bucket system? Do you think his daughter is going to buy a pressure washer and a microfiber wash mitt? No, his daughter is going to take it through an automatic car wash, and the cars are going to get scratched again. That is just reality, guys. That is the reality of the matter. Just because you know how to maintain showroom paint correction and I know how to maintain it, it's still hard. 99.9% of the people on this planet isn't going to be able to maintain showroom paint correction. So you guys are over-delivering, which is a good thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination, but at the same time, if you're giving it to someone that doesn't value and understand what they're getting, is it really worth it? And you have to answer that question for yourself. So I hope you guys learned something today. If you guys have any questions, you could leave them in the comment section below. You could email me anytime at nextleveldetailer@gmail.com. If you guys did enjoy the video, if you did learn something, please give the video a like. It does help the channel grow. We are a growing community, and I'm so glad that you guys took time out of your day to spend it here with me. So, as always, I will see you guys in the next one, and remember, next level mentality.